Ananta is one of my most hyped upcoming gacha games. I have a tier list that I just posted going over all of the upcoming gacha games that I am most and least excited for. Ananta is way up there, and with it attending TGS 2025, which is just a couple weeks from today, and a ton of information coming and content creators who have been reached out to being given access to cover it and to reveal more information as we approach TGS. I thought it would be a great opportunity here to essentially go over some of the things that we know so far and the things that I'm most excited for, the things that stand out to and appeal to me the most. This was compiled from the very first beta test that was held back at the beginning of 2025. I'm sure some things here have changed, and with a playable version no doubt on the horizon, we're going to be able to see the improvements firsthand, kind of like we saw the altered version of the main character in the artwork that was uploaded to the official Twitter. At the game's starting screen, players can, and I think this is one of the most interesting aspects, choose between both a single player and a multiplayer game mode. That means that you're going to be able to play by yourself, but there's also going to be a version of the game that exists that is purely multiplayer. That is insane. That is arguably one of the coolest features, aspects of this game, that this might be, because in Genshin, in Wuwa, right, one of the most sought after features is like a genuine actual multiplayer functionality. If this game right here can do that, can offer that to us, this is going to appeal to a market that is untapped. There are no stamina restrictions for movement. Like, goddamn, that is phenomenal. There are going to be both vehicle driving and Spider-Man-like traversal methods, which is great. The more methods of traversal we have, the better. And please, for the love of God, do not lock wall running behind a single limited character. That is a terrible idea. You're going to be able to interact with a lot of the environment. Back in the beta, they actually showcase how you could carry NPCs. You could like legitimately interact with the NPCs. You could kidnap them. You could take them to your weird little, you know, waifu dungeon. You can pull away chairs directly under the NPCs and make them fall over. You can take their phone, like genuinely walk up to them and rip the phones from their hands and, you know, take a look at what they've been browsing on Galboro or Donboro. They can resist you, by the way. And, yeah, that's going to be really interesting. You can spy on chat logs, their history. I think this is probably going to be AI generated. NetEase has done some things with regards to AI in the past, so this AI generation technology is probably going to be what is kind of the foundation of the grandiose history that all these NPCs are going to have, which is really cool. I think they confirmed that there is a lot of NPC density, and that varies depending on each individual location you visit. There in the beta test was no gacha characters, no gacha weapons or anything, so unfortunately we don't know the rates, if they're going to be obnoxiously bad or if they're going to be actually really good, like Arknight's Enfield or Neverness Whoeverness, or maybe they'll even go so far as to remove gacha like Do It Night Abyss, but that's probably unlikely. There is a functional subway method of transportation, which is really cool. There are tons of different mini games, more than any other gacha game out there. Every single feature that you saw in the trailers is supposedly implemented, including mahjong, including a functional gym and fitness activities, basketball, everything. You can make video calls to your characters, to the different husbandos and waifus that you have, which is really cool as well. And it's gonna actually get a little bit irritating, I think. The most important thing, I think, and this is probably going to set a new precedent for gacha games in general, and that is that all characters are going to have customizable outfits with clothing compatibility between characters of the same gender. So, as an example, you get the big titty waifu, and then you have the small titty waifu, and you have the little lolly, you have, you know, the gargantuan sized mommy. Everyone can wear the same clothes, the same jeans, the same skirts, the same crop tops, the same, you know, one piece bikini, everything. They can all wear the same thing, and it will morph to fit their character shape, body, and model. The same with men. Yeah, so you're gonna get there's I'm hoping there's some package size variation there, so you can get some, you know, you can see them with bulging muscles, but also some channeling some big dick energy. Apparently, buildings and shops can be entered seamlessly, which is really cool. There are locations, however, that are going to require loading screens, and that makes complete and utter sense. There are AI conversations similar to other NetEase games. Another one is Swords of Justice. This is, I don't know, I'm not a fan of AI in video games, but if it adds depth and personality and flair to NPCs that are just walking around the town, I really don't see any harm in that. Apparently they've significantly enhanced the combat from where it was at originally to where it's at now. Apparently there is a vehicle requisition system implemented that allows for you to take any vehicle into city. You can collide with other vehicles, but this accumulates crime points. When it reaches 100%, you're forcibly arrested and taken to the police station. Which is honestly surprising. I don't know if that means that you're just like automatically taken there, or if there's a fight that's gonna happen that's gonna, you know, that allows for you to attempt to resist arrest. I guess we'll wait and see when it's ultimately playable. You can watch movies. You can go to the theater actually and watch movies, and the movie content was supposedly produced by university students. So I mean, that's just I think the casual everything is just going to be so different in this game, like something that we've never experienced before. There's going to be a functional dating system, and this is something I also touched on a little while ago. That's kind of cool. Yeah, you can date the women and the men in the game, the husbandos, the waifus, all of them, which is going to add so much depth to individual characters. Like, you know, in Wuwa, how many people would spend if you could date Cardathea or Zani or Tong Li or any of the really badass characters, Augusta, you know? That's gonna be wild, man. Absolutely wild. They also, the devs themselves went on to say that all cutscenes in Ananta are rendered in real time, which means that changes in character outfits are directly reflected in all scenes. All characters are going to have telekinesis abilities. This was shown in the trailers. This allows you to throw objects at pedestrians, allows you to remove things from underneath. This allows you to pick them up, as we noted earlier on. The gender ratios, I know this is a big topic of contention. There are 11 playable characters, or were 11 playable characters in the beta test at the beginning of the year. 9 of these were female. 2 of the characters were male. This might deter some people from playing, but at the same time, the majority of gacha games, to be successful, need to have what seems to be 2, 3, 4 to 1 male or female to male ratio, because there are just a lot of guys that play these kinds of games. I guess if you include the protagonist, though, there are 3. I don't really know if you would. The initial map is confirmed to resemble Manhattan in the Spider-Man games. The character progression system at present, when the beta took place, was a little bit unclear. There didn't seem to be any gacha mechanics like Hoyo's games. There's a lot of not only character, like world interaction, but also you can pet cats, dogs, animals of all kinds. Unfortunately, there are no water, no air vehicles right now, but they did state right now, not ever, which means this could be a work in progress at some point. And that is pretty much everything that we know about Ananta right now. We do know that the game is going to TGS 2025. That's just a couple weeks from now. They're going to I can't discuss, none of the content creators that have been reached out to can discuss anything that we know, which is really I mean, you know, that's sad for all of you, but also sad for us, because we have to sit on this information and just like, oh god, we're all so excited. Either way, I am beyond excited to see what they ultimately end up doing. I can't wait to see, or I can't wait to showcase what they reveal at TGS 2025. Papa Stix is going to be there day 1, giving you all the juicy goods. Until then, stay tuned, because who knows what they'll release before then.